It was around 2 years ago that I first found the files. There were 20 of them, carefully arranged and bound up inside brown paper folders, each one stamped and dated, each a marvel unto itself, and each hidden away from the world until the day that someone would unwittingly stumble across them. As it happened, that someone was me. I remember thinking at the time that it was just like Dad to leave unfinished business for someone else to deal with. He always was a man who kept secrets. When my father died in 2018, great start by the way, great start, he left the family home to me. My mother had passed away around a decade earlier, and I had no siblings, so I suppose I was his only remaining choice. I never intended to keep the place, and I certainly did not want to live there. Something about the thought of sitting alone up there with the ghosts of memories swelling up around me made me cringe in places I didn't even realize it was possible to cringe. I decided that the first opportunity I was going to sell the place. Honestly, if the house burdened me a lot, I would also take that decision, like at the first opportunity I would sell it. So I engaged a number of designers and some builders to refurbish the place, outlining what I wanted done with each room to increase the value of the structure before I put it up for sale. One of the jobs I undertook personally as a part of this project was refitting the floor in my father's study, and as part of a larger overhaul of the plumbing system, installing underfloor heating in there. It was after prying up one of the floorboards above which my father's heavy oak desk was rested regularly for the past 4 decades that I found a small recess, and within it, a medium-sized metallic box. Over the next 6 months, I would uncover 3 more of these boxes and remove from them a total of 20 case files. Files, presumably my father had stolen or removed without permission from work, and then had the good sense to hide away, in case anyone came looking for them. Considering the contents of the files, and the fact that every page and of every one had the word classified stamped across it, I can see why he chose to do it. Each folder labeled with some esoteric file named ELOEB 198 Namibia ABF, and then 22BET Kenya app, or FI1, and a lot of things that I can't read. Seemed to contain an oblique reference to a country and some other filling system that I could not make sense of. The stories within the files, however, take no decoding. They were clearly written, unambiguous in their content, and often provided photographic evidence and local newspaper reports to go along with the statements and summarize provided. They were, however, without exception, unbelievable. Each file concerned an event that had taken place in the country referenced in the file name, and about which my own government had clearly asked to be briefed, whilst also taking care of ensure that bad news of these stories never became public over here. These stories arranged from unnerving to the horrifying, and in every case, no matter how implausible the story may be, were presented as absolute, substantiated, and inarguable. Oh, watch my bilingual self read. It's funny. Inarguable fact. The compiler of each report had even signed a declaration attesting to the fact that, to the best of their knowledge, the information contained within the file was accurate, up-to-date, and verifiable through witness testimony or physical evidence. Looking at the first file and then examining each of the others, I came to a horrible realization. I recognized his signature. That my father had worked for the government was no secret. what he actually did for them was. I remember many nights when my mother would scream at him down the phone about him working another late night or deciding that he was going away that weekend on almost no notice. Oh girl, he might be cheating. He might be cheating. That's sus. Cheating is not funny, guys. Don't do it. I will go to your house and take your kneecaps. If you cheat, don't cheat. It's ugly. He would always protest that this was part of the job. My mother suspected an affair, and eventually, the erosion of trust and my father's inability to explain what he had been doing and where led them to divorce. My mother moved out, and I went with her, always accepting her version of events and taking as fact the idea that my father was a no-good cheat and responsible for the breakdown of their marriage. Whilst the latter statement might have been true, the contents of the file made me wonder about the former. If this was the kind of thing my father was doing, then maybe there was a reason he was so secretive. Maybe he was protecting us, and maybe he really did have to work those late nights. Maybe. But then, as I said, my father was clearly a man of secrets. I think he had an affair with an alien. With an alien, Area 51. Is it monsters and creatures? Think about it. The first file I had read, the first one I intend to share, and which convinced me immediately that these were not just random pages filed away by accident, was the one marked 22-bed Kenya app. The events it detailed took place in northern Kenya, but were very much orchestrated and overseen by my government. At least, at first. Once they got out of hand, my government washed its hands of the whole affair. Clearly, when something is a project, it's ours. When it becomes a problem, it's theirs. Okay, but true. In fairness to the scientists initially working on the project, I honestly believe their insistent pleas that they had the best intentions. What more noble cause could there be than trying to eliminate hunger? I know that many people object to the idea of genetic modification of foods on principle, but I have to suspect that the people interviewed within those pages genuinely thought that they had something to offer. In some ways, the story was quite a simple one. A problem with food chain and caused by interference with the natural order of things. The file, unlike many others, opened with photocopies of news reports, all of which screamed in sensationalist tones about vampirism. The reports, which all centered around one particular area of the country, outlined how 4 individuals in the space of 2 weeks had been found, deceased in fields on the outskirts of town, having had almost their entire supply of blood and significant portions of their body fat drained from them. The wild conjectures and lurid descriptions given by the newspapers were somehow less shocking than the more evidence-based medical reports, copies of which were also enclosed within the folder, with each showing something that might once have been a human being, but which now resembled some sort of leathery hollow, emptied from the inside out. Me? Feelings? What are those? Okay, so we have about 10 more paragraphs. They're short. I may be able to read them on time. If I run out of time, there will be a part 2. I had never been a believer in such things as vampires and ghosts, but having seen those photographs, I could think of no known animal capable of inflicting those kinds of injuries. Or so I thought. As it turned out, I did know such an animal. I simply had not considered the matter of scale. Oh my god, don't tell me that his father is going to be the vampire. Or the mom. The mom! Or even himself. This is getting interesting. I don't think I'm doing a part 2. I'm gonna read this now. Before the summary report, signed and presumably typed by my father, the compiler had seen first to include a number of other documents, accounts and clearance documents for experimental gene. I'm sorry, I get so insecure when I read. For experimental gene manipulations to be carried out on a list of species, most of which belong to the antelope family. Antelope or antilope? Antilope. Did I already mention that English is my second language? Yes. These clearance documents also contain rationales which explained that the muscle tissue in the antelope and deer was more fibrous and elastic, meaning that it would lend itself better to the rapid expansion in a few generations, which the treatment they spoke of was intended to bring about. The results of these expansions were displayed in photographs dated around 18 months later and attached to the documents. In them, immense malformed horrors flailed and thrashed inside makeshift enclosures, warped and bloated approximations of things vaguely shaped like antelopes. I'm sorry if I cringe you out. I really don't remember how you say those animals in English. I'm trying to remember, but somehow I can't. Pale and blistered, lay on their sides, kicking listlessly. This is giving me too many words. Man, stop bullying me. At the straw as they tried to rise on spindle legs far too flimsy to support their massive bulk. Each specimen was, judging by their size in relation to the humans pictured before or beside them, at least the size of a giraffe, with some of them being many times the size of elephants, and looking for all the world like some hideous mammalian dinosaur. In every case, the thing in the picture looked wrong, unnatural, and out of place in this or any world in which men with consciences reside. I think, sadly, I'm going to leave this video here. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening. Be sure to give a thumbs up if you like this video, and comment and share if you would like. And please subscribe and hit the notification bell if you want more content like this. Yeah. I think that's it. Again, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video, my lovely kiwis. Bye.